Danger! We're on a collision course, do something. Reverse thrust. Full power. Television in the 1960s was a strange blend of innocence, ambition, and unintentional comedy, and Lost in Space embodied all of it. Alongside Star Trek's wobbling model ships and the Twilight Zone's mind-bending stories, Lost in Space delivered sci-fi adventure powered by imagination, duct tape, and a physics system that made sense only if you didn't look too closely. Fans forgave monsters with rubber seams, the robot tripping over itself, and Dr. Smith's wardrobe choices that, only in hindsight, were far more suggestive than anyone realized at the time. One of the strangest examples came from a dramatic sequence that took an unexpected turn into something that looked almost like musical theater. Viewers in 1965 watching on fuzzy black and white screens saw Dr. Smith as the usual panicked troublemaker. But the HD remaster revealed a moment where Jonathan Harris, squeezed into an absurdly tight outfit, delivered a panic spin, a hip swing, a flamboyant finger snap, and a line reading so campy it turned a supposed crisis into accidental comedy. What once looked like simple frantic acting appears today like an outtake from a sci-fi fashion runway, proof that HD can expose things no one intended. Then there were the monsters. Many episodes built suspense with fog, eerie lighting, and mysterious alien creatures until the suit turned around and revealed a giant zipper trailing down its back. In the 60s, primitive TVs blurred this away. Now the remasters show every seam, wrinkle, and breathing movement of the poor actor inside the rubber costume. Once fearsome aliens now look like they escaped from a Halloween bargain bin. Even the beloved robot wasn't immune to mishaps. The B9 costume was rigid and painfully heavy, forcing Bob May inside to shuffle more than walk. In one episode, right as the robot tries to deliver its iconic "Danger, Will Robinson" warning, it loses balance and crashes face-first onto the set. Nothing about the fall was planned. The cast froze, then burst into laughter, but the production schedule was too tight for refilming, so the tumble made it to air. Today it's a fan-favorite blooper. Perhaps the most infamous disaster was the giant talking carrot episode, a surreal oddity burned into childhood memories for all the wrong reasons. Characters began turning into vegetables, and then a lumbering carrot monster arrived to speak. The cast couldn't stop laughing during filming, even the robot supposedly broke character. Audiences, however, weren't amused. The backlash was brutal, and the network canceled the show only one episode later. A giant carrot took down a sci-fi classic. Behind the scenes, strange stories pile up. In one episode, the makeup team, facing no budget and no time, borrowed pointy alien ears from the Star Trek crew. They altered them slightly, but Trek fans noticed instantly, sparking a miniature fan war over prop theft. And before Jonathan Harris became the unforgettable Dr. Smith, the role nearly went to Carol O'Connor, whose intense acting style would have transformed the character into something far darker and far less fun. In the end, he declined and Harris redefined the show with his mischievous theatricality. Even the Jupiter 2 carried its own legend. Audiences saw a sleek futuristic craft, but behind the scenes it was a massively expensive build, costing what would be over $2.5 million today, more than Star Trek spent on the Enterprise. Every interior set, control panel, sleeping pod, and blinking light was crafted by hand, making the ship a full character in its own right. Yet after all the effort, the show never received a proper farewell. Season 3 ended on a cliffhanger with the Robinsons stranded on yet another unknown world. The cast assumed more adventures were coming. When cancellation came, no one had been told the final episode was truly the end. There was no wrap party, no goodbyes, just an abrupt silence. Looking back at the mistakes, behind-the-scenes chaos, and the charm of its imperfections, it's clear Lost in Space was more than a sci-fi show. It was a product of a bold, messy era of television where imagination and accidents coexisted, and where the flaws became the memories fans cherish most. Its legacy endures not because it was perfect, but because it left room for wonder, nostalgia, and all the adventures the Robinsons never got to have. Got any more bloopers? Drop them in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into Hollywood's golden age.